Hello everyone, welcome to Newcastle Fans TV's Black and White show. We're doing it a day early this week because obviously the lockdown with Boris Johnson done on Monday. We've had to do it remotely, so we are currently live on YouTube across all the socials, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, LinkedIn, you name it as well. For those that are listening on Nova Radio 102.5 FM, you're listening, the rerun of tonight's show. And coming up on tonight's show, we have a few things coming up. We've got 2 hours packed of football. We're obviously going to be talking about, first of all, there's no coronavirus tonight. No talk about that. Thank you. And we're also going to be hearing from Johnny and Sam and myself in Skype during this live stream as well. Remember to get your WhatsApp messages coming through as well. You can see the number on screen, which is 0747 649 7166. Free to message us, and we'll be reading out your messages later on. So as I say, coming up, we're going to be talking about none of the coronavirus stuff. We're going to be talking about Mike Ashley in just a moment. Obviously, with the carry on with what he's had with Sports Direct, hasn't went down too well. And of course, there's season tickets. So that'll be your section one. And then later on, we're going to be talking about out of the loan players. Currently, there's 3. We're also going to include Jetro Williams in that as well. So it'll be 4 players. Would you buy any of them? Would you go on and put money down for any of those players? And then in the third section, we're going to be talking about our favourite away days. I'm also going to be bringing you clips also from those away days that we've been to as well. And then in the final section, we're going to get 2 phone calls from Kyle and Rob, so they'll be joining the show later on live as well. Before we get on to Mike Ashley, we have actually got some WhatsApps coming through, so remember to keep them coming through. They're on your live screen. And this one, no name, but it does say, what do you think of Mike Ashley is going to do with the fans' season's ticket cash? So we're going to be talking about that in a moment. We know that there's lump sum people who paid annually have had their money taken. I think the timing is really, really poor at the moment. But remember to put your names in your messages as well. Another one says panic buy. I've got no idea what that is about. And this is also what will. And Boris was then asked obviously everyone was kicking off, of course, on Twitter, social media, people at home. Because let's face it, the majority of people are at home. And Boris in his press conference the next day was asked the question, or maybe in the press, about Sports Direct trying to stay open, and he said, well, face the consequences. And what would happen, Johnny, if his stores were to remain open?
Just before I answer that question, it was Chiona who was speaking at the comments that asked the questions. And she asked the question to the Prime Minister, and he basically said, you need to follow our rules or you'll face the consequences. In terms of back to your question, look, he's still trying to. I think if he could open on Christmas Day, he would. So he wants his business to be open 24/7, every second of the day. If Mike Ashley's earning money, especially in times where the high street isn't working. We see shops closing down, especially look through Northumberland Street. Shops are closing left, right, and centre. He wants to try and maximise all these products and maximise all these sales, and that is the greediness, the selfishness of the man. And if his shop was to, crumble, it probably would quicken up a Newcastle sale. It really would, because he'll need money from somewhere. He'll need capital from somewhere. And yes, the Premier League might not be commencing at the minute, but it will return eventually, and he knows that he can get good money for it. But if other businesses can see that his companies are starting to crumble, they can offer just 300 million or just under 300 million rather than the 350, 400 million pounds that have been muted over the last couple of years. So we'll just have to wait and see with that one. But the last thing that he wants is something like this, because companies are going to struggle. Like every company is going to struggle, bar supermarkets.
Sam, what's he thinking of? What's essential in his shop? He's tried the statement saying that was fitness gear, but you're only allowed out because of the laws at the minute to on your own or with family members to go for a jog and come back or whatever it is. What's essential in his shop?
Well, obviously slides and jog bottoms are.
Well, surely if you're essential, maybe you should have just a tiny section of your shop open for gym gear, and that's it.
It doesn't make a difference, because we haven't even mentioned that the kind of the gym gear, the sports equipment and fitness equipment, he's hiked all the prices up to 50% on top of what they were retailing for previously. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse, it does. There's just more and more layers of this. His employees were eligible for the 80% furlough leave that the government were doing with other retail companies. So there was just no excuse. And then the cheek of the letter that they acted Boris Johnson into, it's just an absolute embarrassment. He really does not help himself.
You've then obviously been told, you've just talked upon it because that was my next question, Sam, is that you're told no, your shop isn't essential, which is rightly so. But Johnny, we've obviously experienced it being Newcastle fans for over a dozen years now, and then he thinks, well, okay, I'm going to lose a bit of business here, I'm going to double these prices on certain items. I mean, just what do you make of the man?
It's anything that we haven't said about him. Like, you know, it's decision after decision, it's interview after interview. The only thing is, it's got sports direct talking. People know what sports directors they didn't know before, but it's really, really bad PR. Really, really bad PR. The fact that they've made their letter, everybody can see the letter via Twitter, for example. It was the worst thing they could have done. Surely, with the amount of millions he's meant, this bloke's meant to have, he can get a good PR team around him, because he hasn't had one for the last 10 or 12 years. But nothing surprises you, the man. This is a man who has done decisions like this before. You can look. He's been in front of MPs. He's been in front of people at a very, very high level of this country, trying to basically defend his actions of his workplace. You know, we've heard the stories about people that have given birth in Shirebrook. Nothing surprises you with Mike Ashley anymore. He will defend his baby, his company, until the last second. But in terms of what it might impact on Newcastle, I don't think it does anything. Everybody knows that Newcastle fans don't like the guy. It just kind of puts another bow to the string, or string to the bow, rather, and do it that way. I think it sounds like this is a simple prayer. But it does, doesn't it? Because how many things can we name in the last 12, 13 years where you go, Mike Ashley's done this and Mike Ashley's wrong about this? It's with the right hook.
Yeah. Sam, of course, then, we've seen the statement, which was on, what day are we on now? I don't even know what day of the week, even though Friday. Friday, you released the statement, which was yesterday, because obviously we were pre-recorded this. What do you make of it? A sincere apology from Mr. Ashley and his group. Same old, isn't it?
It is. I mean, look, an apology is better than no apology. It's already said and done. He can't. It's like the whole PR. It's been a disaster for him. The apology is not overly convincing. There's no reference of what we mentioned before in his price hikes and conditions in his warehouses. I mean, it doesn't really wash. I mean, everyone watching this now probably hasn't got much positivity towards the guy. So to play devil's advocate, all you can say is an apology is better than no apology. That's where it would end.
2 days too late. 2 days too late.
Yeah, I would agree on that. We're going to wrap up with Mike Ashley and we'll move on to the season tickets. But I think all of us and everyone we're watching is, if the coronaviruses have any positive come out of this, it would make his business crumble. And we can all be happy. So, moving on to, and it is Mike Ashley related stuff, unfortunately, it is about the season tickets. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know too much about until the Newcastle United Supporters Trust actually said and went to the club, released the statement out. Obviously we had Alex Hurst on, it was only a couple of weeks back that he was on. And I didn't know that they took the full annual so early. Obviously the Nust went to the club, Johnny, and then pleading with them, look, I understand that they have to take the season ticket money annually, but the timing of it, and especially this circumstance, yes, I know the club need money, But if you don't, your fans are effectively customers at the same time as well. You're taking, I've seen stories of 650 quid, 700 quid, where people are being laid off. And the timing of it, surely, again, we're talking about PR. The PR team at Newcastle should have looked at and thought, no common sense, let's delay it for 2 months.
Potentially, it depends on what deal you're in. If you're on a 9-10 year deal, I've had money coming out of my account every month for the last few years now, so it becomes the norm. The only thing you can say, and I'll twist it a little bit, is that Newcastle don't play games in June and July normally. So there's 2 months normally that you might pay for a season ticket, but you're not seeing games. It's just the way it works. However, going back to what you're saying, it would be fantastic PR. It wouldn't be good PR, it would be fantastic PR. If you go, do you know what, we'll freeze payments until the Premier League gets back going again. You're saying, will a Premier League club run out of money? A Premier League club's not going to run out of money at the minute. The broadcasting deal system in the UK alone will keep Premier League clubs going for a long time. And we're not even sure about international rights as well, and sponsorships, etc. Fans are a small part, and if you keep the fans on side in difficult times, yes, we're not all going to agree on what Mike Ashley says or lead Charlie to that fact as well. But it would help. It would build some sort of fragile relationship that we've got left with the current owners of the football club or the people that run the football club. But again, they'll argue that, well, look, we're giving free season tickets to people since January. So if one club was to start it in the Premier League, the other 19 would be going, we might have to follow this. But I don't think one club at the minute is brave enough to do that in terms of going, yeah, we'll freeze your payments, because they generally don't know when the season's going to start. The season might be quashed, and if that's the case, that's another question altogether. Should we get our money back? It's open up to kind of worms, really.
It is, yeah. I mean, there's rumours that Leeds United, a massive club like Leeds, who could be promoted or may ask some of their players to cut some of their wages. Obviously, we've seen with the league being stopped lower down. Just on a side note, South Shields will be furious. Blythe will be absolutely delighted. So how far does that trickle up the leagues further? So we'll have to watch on that. But Sam, on that, we didn't really hear anything really direct from Newcastle. Obviously, the Nust went to the club and said, look, I think the timing of it, because it's hard, so people are self-employed, people are losing a job, or people are worried in general. I mean, I'm still in a job, I'm lucky, but I'm still worried what happens in the future, because it might impact my company, my wages, so on and so on. But we're in a difficult time at the moment, and the club went directly back to the Nust, and we heard from Alex, who was on the radio show, and Alex said, and this is from him directly, that Lee Charney will only speak to Alex regarding supporters matters. Do you feel that the club should have came out publicly and said something rather than going to the Nust, Sam?
Of course they should, but they never do. This is a recurring theme. This has been going on for how long? Their communication is appalling. That's why the Nust are worth their weight in gold, because they actually have a dialogue with the club, and whether it's Alex or whoever, that they can be held to account to a degree, but it's just the same old repetitive. If it's not one thing, it's another. They always find different ways to dig deeper into this bigger hole. I mean, Johnny said it would have been fantastic PR. The ship sailed for it to be fantastic PR now, because the Nuts have had to go to them and continually probe them into getting a line out of them, where Charlie's come back and said it's not on the agenda to help anyone out. And everyone's in the same boat. We're all in this together. These are real uncertain times financially for everyone. We all want the football to be back as quick as possible, but is it priority ahead of paying your mortgage, paying your rent, knowing where your next paycheck's coming from? Not really. So it just seemed like the least that they can do for a multi-billion-pound industry, just to skip some season ticket payments or pause them. Banks are doing it for mortgages. Sky, Lee. Sky doing it with their Sky Sports.
Yeah, it's nice.
I believe you have some experience with that. So
just a little.
Yeah, but obviously this multi-billion pound industry doesn't want to step up and do the right thing.
You talk about obviously you mentioned Sky there, but there's not just Sky. There's loads of other little companies who are making NHS workers have their own self-service checkouts. Park and the city, the council have obviously allowed the NHS to park. It's small things. It would have been great PR. We've seen it with the food bank, which is fantastic. We've seen it. The foundation are still going out as well. I know they're not directly Newcastle, but the club's charity who are going out. It would have made a great PR and say, look, under these times, we'll freeze them, or we might make your payments later higher to catch up over 2 or 3 months. Anything you could play around with it. But I'll come back to Sam. Johnny, I'll come to you again in a minute. Sam, what if the season did finish? What does it mean for season ticket holders? Do they get the money back, or do they get a discount next season?
Still all hypotheticals though at this point for the Premier League at least. Anyway, I know they're finishing leagues in the the lower echelons of the non-league. For the Premier League, there's too much money on the line. There's too much money generated. That's not going to happen. We could all, the Steve Bruce idea of a month-long festival of football is always an option, but you probably have to take a week off work to get all your games in. So it's unheard of. It's a tricky situation. I don't think the Premier League is going to be halted or made null and void. There's just too much money on the line, and that's the bottom line.
I could even throw the FA Cup game in there as well. What if we don't have an FA Cup? Do people get the tickets back? It opened up a load of can of worms as well. Another question, going back to yourself, Johnny. If clubs are losing money, and especially lower league clubs, but if Newcastle were to put the prices up, I know it's going to cause eruptions with the season tickets. If those prices were to go up again, because of the loss that they've may get, would you understand it and would you accept that?
No, if I'm being pretty honest, because unless they get relegated, they're guaranteed a fantastic income every 12 months or every year in the Premier League. Sam talks about, they can't make this league null and void. They can't. The Premier League cannot afford that because clubs like Liverpool, for example, are bigger than the league itself. Man United, for example, are bigger than the league. They are. Simple as that. People might not only hear to say that, but that's the case. Newcastle have got no right, in my personal opinion, increase prices for very average performances. If we put it as blunt as that, because yes, we've had some very good moments. The Man United game, the Chelsea game, the Tottenham game, at the new White Hart Lane. We haven't had a lot of great moments this season. The only thing that's really keeping Newcastle fans interested this season is the FA Cup. Simple as that. If Newcastle were to get to Wembley, and then they announced there was a season ticket increase, it would soften the blow. But people will go back to that when if Newcastle don't win the FA Cup. Newcastle would need to see stuff off the pitch, as in better signings, instead of £40 million wasted on you know who, and stuff going on the developing a new training ground, etc., etc. There were so many things that this club could do with the money they've got, rather than potentially increasing prices for the fans that are going to go through the door. Attendances have dropped for the first time this season in God knows how long. Will they drop any further? If the football is like it is, potentially yes. Because you've got to remember, without those free season tickets, Newcastle would still be getting somewhere between 41 to 44, 45,000. It wouldn't be over 48, 49,000, for example.
Good point. The last one on this topic before we go back to myself, which is weird, going live again. Sam, I'll come to you on this one. What we've learned with Mike Ashley and the season tickets, once again, where the club keep letting us, the fans, down, is transparency. Letting us know where they stand, letting us know why. We're still not getting that. Do you fear that's still going to carry on?
Yeah, because there's no sign of any let up from it. This has been going on for years now. The lack of transparency, the lack of communication. It's just so baffling. You don't get it anywhere else. You don't. It's mad. That's why, as I said before, the nuts are worth their weight in gold. They're the only ones that can even remotely hold them to account. because they have that channel of dialogue with them. You don't hear about anything with what's going on or why, or it's just you're just banging your head against a brick wall. It's what the solution is. Well, the solution is they start opening the mouths, but that's not going to happen. So how do we make them? I don't know.
Yeah,
the problem is as well, sorry to put in, Lee, is that when we spoke to Alex at the radio show, 96% of the stuff that they say is off the record anyway. See, they can't tell people anyway. So Alex is in a difficult situation. So anyway, he's got some information, but he can't tell anybody.
Yeah, not if you're being recorded anyway.
For sure.
I know. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to head back to myself live. I'm going to interact with you in the live chat and on WhatsApp before we take a break.
The Black and White Football Show, Sundays 6 to 8 p.m. in association with Newcastle Fans TV on Nova Radio Northeast.
Hi everyone, we are back. So apology at the beginning of the stream. We had a bit of disruption in this stream, but everything looks like it's okay now. So thank you very much for your feedback. We've had a WhatsApp message come through. So remember, please keep your WhatsApp messages coming through. You can see the number on your screen, and this is from Ismaila. So thank you very much for your message from Uganda, of all places. So we are reaching out. So he says that he's been supporting Newcastle for so long, but he hasn't had many access to comment or give his views concerning the team. Now he's excited because he's got this number, so we're giving the platform. And what's happening at St. Joseph's Park? Well, Ismaila, just keep watching. We're still uploading loads of videos, so thank you very much for your message. And remember to get your WhatsApp messages coming through. The number is 0747 649 7166. We're going to take a break in a second. I'm just going to see what you're saying in the live chat. Bring back Rondon, says Alex. God, we miss him, didn't we? Crikey almighty, we do. If it wasn't for Dubravka, we would be wearing Norwich, says Liam NUFC, so thank you very much for that. Kyle and Paul are in the chat. Kyle's coming on the show a little bit later for a phone call. Rather get Danny Ing, says Liam. A lot of you seem to be talking about players that he's looking at, but in terms of the season tickets, we just hope it doesn't go up, because it's just so like the club, because obviously they're not getting as much money at the minute. You didn't want that money going up. Remember to keep your WhatsApp messages coming through. We're going to take a quick ad break. Get your WhatsApp come through. There's a quiz question for you, for people who are watching it. If you're listening, unfortunately you'll not be able to hear that. We'll be back very, very shortly after this song. And we are back. Hi everyone, how you doing? So did you get the question after Alan Shearer and Jackie Milburn, who has scored the most goals for Newcastle? A lot of you have struggled with that, and the answer was Len White. So I believe Kyle, you've got that one as well. So I know he's misspelled it wrong. Kyle, with his grammar doesn't go well. But let's have a look at what he's saying in the live chat. We've got some more WhatsApp coming through as well. And let's have a look. I hope we keep Longstaff for the next season. Do you think we'll extend his contract? I hope so, and that's by Antonio Ridley. So yeah, we're going to move over to the WhatsApp because we've had a few come through, and this is a funny one. So remember, please leave your name for this, but it just says, who can do the most push-ups, Paul or Kyle? You've got to let me know now in the live chat, who can do the most push-ups, Paul or Kyle? Hi, if you want to see it on video, I'm more than happy to film that. The next question is from Liam, so thank you very much. He says, even though I'm a Newcastle fan from London, I don't see the point in putting the season ticket prices up because it's not like we compete with teams like Wolves, who I think we should be competing against, basically, and all we do is seem to be fighting against relegation. So thank you very much, Liam, for that message over on WhatsApp. So I would agree with you on that sense, Liam. I think there'll be hell on if the prices are raised, in particular at the moment with the situation with the virus, and not a lot of people are being laid off, and a lot of people are uncertain whether they've got a job to go back to as well. The next one, no name, please leave your name. That really does help us read it out. So it says, I hope the government come down hard on Mike Ashley keeping Sports Direct open. Unfortunately, he would just raise ticket prices at Newcastle. Stay safe. So thank you very much. Remember to leave your name if you are sending us WhatsApp. So in the next section of a radio show, it's quite a lengthy one. We're talking about 4 players, and it's a good half an hour chat. I'm going to go back to myself and Johnny and Sam. This was recorded yesterday, and we're talking about all 4 loan players. We want to know who you would keep out of these 4, so here we go.
The Black and White Football Show, Sunday 6 to 8 p.m. in association with Newcastle Fans TV on Nova Radio Northeast.
I'm going to be talking about loan players, and not are you just going to keep them? Are they better than what we have? Would you sign them? How much would he cost? Is it realistic, his salary and his fee? And does he want that move? Does he really want that hunger? We're also going to include Jetro Willems in this because he was, for the first half of the season, loaned to us. It's only right that we'll get him involved. And we may as well start with Jetro. I'll come to you, Johnny. First of all, straightforward question. Would you sign him?
100% yes.
Tell me why.
Apart from the Arsenal game, where I think everybody would like to forget about that game for all sorts of reasons. He's been a revelation at Newcastle. He's made that left wing back or left back area his own. Obviously, he's probably better as a left wing back if we play that formation in the future. But you always felt confident with him. My only problem with signing him is when we will see him back in a Newcastle shirt, because there's murmurs, rumours that it might not be till January. Now I know obviously with everything that's going on, that might be the start of the season. Who knows? However, in all seriousness, the injury is a big thing, and I think he's like 27, 28, is that right?
I think he's
a bit younger, is he?
About 26. He's somewhere around there, 26.
Yeah. So he's probably still got a couple of years, and if he's 26, to potentially at the highest level. But he hasn't looked out of place, scored goals against Manchester City and Liverpool. Not many people have done that this season. So yeah, if he's fully fit and we can keep him fit, it's a no-brainer. But I think Steve Bruce might go for somebody else instead.
I hope not. Sam, I think you're going to say yes. So, tell me what your strengths are, though.
Getting forward. He's a solid attacking left wing back. I think he can play in a flat back 4 as well, similar to the days of Olivier Bernard. He used to love getting forward with Robert. He's been one of the revelations of the first half of the season for me. It's such a shame when he got that horrible injury. I share the concern that Johnny has. This is his second real big injury.
Yeah.
It's not very often they can come back again and again and again from these big injuries. I've got a horrible feeling that we're going to turn our attentions to somewhere else, but what was his release clause still stands to make the move permanent, doesn't it? Or was it 9 million?
We assume so, but that might go at the end of the season. I don't know. So
Yeah.
assuming it's 9 to 10 million, you would do it, wouldn't you?
Without any shadow of a doubt, but there's just something in the back of my head that's saying I don't think they fancy it paying that for someone who's going to miss half a season every season. I don't know. I hope we sign him. I think he's superb. He can cut in from the left. He can pretty much do it all. He's if anything, he's still a bit underrated. He's a proper player, Williams.
Well, he came to the club because he wanted to try and get back on that Dutch side, didn't he? And I seen a stat that he was, at the time, one-on-one, he was number 1 in the Premier League. People are going to get past him, so there's another strength he has.
Yeah.
Johnny, is he better than what we have in that position? Who are you going to compare?
Just about, because I'm looking at Danny Rose. Danny Rose is the one where I know you're probably going to mention him in a bit, but
Matt Ritchie, wing back.
I think he's better than Ritchie in that position. I think he's better than Dummett in that position. Danny Rose, it depends, because I think in a back 4 suits Danny Rose better, but if you're playing a back 5, I think it suits Valens better. So I think Newcastle would probably pay more money for a younger left wing back if it was the best option for the football club. Look, personally, I would say he's just about better than Rose at the minute on form. Rose he's had probably one good game for Newcastle. And against West Brom, he was okay against Southampton by all looks of it. So I would say yes, just on form at the minute. But Danny Rose, we've got to remember, he can be an excellent player. I know he hasn't played brilliantly, as we catwalks all over us. But yeah, I think at the minute he's just about better.
Sam, would you go along with that? Is he the best in our position?
Get it.
You're right, Johnny.
Get attacked on him.
With Rose, 29 years of age, on a decent wage packet.
More on Willems though. We'll talk about Rose. Is he the best in that position?
Willems?
Yes.
Yeah. Ritchie can't. I don't think will be able to play on the left hand side of the flat back 4. Dummett is more of a centre back these days, isn't he? Let's face it. He can play left back. Obviously, he started left back, but he's a much more capable centre back than he is left back. Yeah, Willems every time for me.
Okay, we'll stay on you as well. We'll come back to you, Johnny, in a minute. How much? Obviously, we've talked about the cost. So, for the cost of 9 to 10 million, we'll say his salary isn't massive either. What would it cost the club if that is still in place? 9 to 10 million and 40 grand? Maybe he's on 50 grand. It would be a no-brainer, but you've touched upon there. Is that the only concern you have with his injuries?
Yeah, that is the only concern. Otherwise, it is a total no-brainer. It's a bargain if you can get him onto the pitch in the first place. It is a real concern. Second big injury. It's just ifs, buts and maybes with him, because if he stays fit, then you've got a proper player on your hands, and it's a bargain for 9-10 mil.
Johnny, let's just say this, because of the situation with coronavirus and the season may have to extend and etc. Maybe that clause goes. How much would you pay for him? Would you push it 20?
I wouldn't pay 20 mil. The problem is, like Sam says, it's the injury. There's a risk. There is a risk. I wouldn't pay any more than probably 10, 12 million, if I'm being brutally honest, because 27-year-old, we'll say, by that time he's back fully fit. Bad injuries, is he guaranteeing you at least 25 games this season? If we're going to put it bluntly, at the minute you say it's a big risk, and probably no. So the less risk would be to spend less on him. So if it's still available for about £9-10 million, heart over head, I'd probably do it. But I think the more sensible thing would be, let's see what Danny Rose is like from now to the end of the season, or whenever the end of the season will be. Let's see how much Tottenham want for him. And if Tottenham want a ridiculously low price, which is unrealistic, that's because Danny Levy's a very shrewd businessman, but he'd probably think, well, he's only got a year left on his contract. Mourinho doesn't want him. Newcastle will probably be one of the only few teams who will have him because he wants to go back up north that are in the Premier League. So it's a no-brainer, really, if we're being brutally honest, in terms of all parties.
Say with Williams, I'll probably stretch that to 15. That's probably my limit for Jetro Williams. I don't think I'll pay more than that. I think everyone and all three of us will probably agree. Johnny, I'll stay with you. Would you want the move? Is he hungry for it, Jetro Williams?
I'd go back on the injury. If the injury wasn't there, it'd be yes, 100%.
But the player himself, surely, because he's
just the player. Like I say, if it's just the player himself, it's 100% yes, because we know what we get out of him. It's a no risk in terms of it was just the player, but the injury has a massive impact on him.
But the player himself will want the move, surely.
You'd like to think so. He was lucky. He still talks to Newcastle, the Newcastle players that he's with. ASM, I think it's one player he's got a good relationship with as well. He was developing a good relationship with the fans as well. So, in terms of it's just the player himself, I think he'll be pushing for this move as well. But I don't think the board will be pushing for it.
Okay, Sam. Clearly, Jetro. He's talked about the club. He came back even when he was injured. He wants that move, surely, to Premier League side. The hunger's there for him, isn't there?
Yeah, you look at his social media feeds, there's plenty of connotations there to suggest he's more than happy in the North East. He if that offer's on the table for him, he's going to grab it with both hands.
You've just said a very big word there, which Rob will be very proud of, so well done, Sam.
What's that? What kind of
North East.
So Rob will be smiling right now saying, well done, well done. So the next player, because as I've talked about him a little bit, is Danny Rose. A straightforward question, Johnny, would you sign him? At the moment, I'm going to
say yes.
I'll say no, because of his form, but that might change. Why? Why are you saying yes?
Look, he's still a good player. I think he's just in a bit of a bad form. Like he's starting to kind of show what he's about. He was good second half against West Brom. Was okay against Southampton. That's his level. Teams against Southampton are at his level, and he's playing well against them sort of teams. If there's a good deal for concerned, Danny Rose is still a very good left back on his day. He was, let's forget, 7 months ago, he was playing in the Champions League, starting the Champions League final for Tottenham. So he's no mug by any stretch. I would just kind of like to see a bit more of him going forward, see what he can do. But I think for the right price, it's a good deal for everybody.
Sam, you're against that, it looks like, are you?
No, the thing is, with Rose, he's probably the most complex one that we're going to discuss because he's 29. His next move is going to be his last big one. He's had a good career. He's on a nice wage. When you're that age, you're not really looking at taking a pay cut yet, which doesn't really go well in our favour. What I will say in support of signing him is that it adds great depth to the squad, which is what we're lacking in spades, is because we lack strength and depth so much. Couple of injuries, and look who we've got coming into the team. It's your likes of your Atsus, and so on and so forth. I don't know. I can't see it happening, to be honest.
We've seen very little of Atsu since Danny Rose has come in, actually, so for me that's a positive. Question 2, Johnny, is he better than what we have? Same question as before.
Yeah, he is. He is better than what we have. Like Sam's mentioned, he is better than like sort of Christian Atsu, who's behind him. Paul Dummett, I would say, in that position, I think Paul Dummett is going to be a better centre half than he will be a left back, just in my personal opinion. So he is better than what we've got. I think we've got to see what he's like for the last 8 or 9 games, and then the FA Cup as well. He could be the difference in an FA Cup semi-final or an FA Cup final if we get past Manchester City, which is still a massive ask as it is anyway. But for sure, he's definitely 100% better than what we've got.
Is he, Sam?
Yes, because again, for the same, he is. Of course, he is. For the same reasons that Williams was, he's more comfortable in the flat back forward than Matt Ritchie. He's a better out-and-out player than Paul Dummett. As we said again, Paul Dummett's a better centre-back now. So he is. It's that strength in depth that he brings as well. So, for example, if you keep Rose and Williams fit, just imagine the competition for the one place there. Yeah, that's just going to spur them both on. You've got 2 proper players there.
I see what you've done, spurred them on. See what you've done there.
That was totally unintentional.
I'll stay with Sam on this one. How much is he going to cost Newcastle in terms of a fee and then the salary?
They wanted 20 million for him in January.
Would you?
He's not going to cost that much this time because he's only got 1 year left, or at the end of the season, God knows how long he's going to have left. It depends how desperate Spurs are to get rid of him. I wouldn't be spending. I mean, you could kind of justify 10 mil, but I wouldn't be going much higher than that, to be honest. And his wages are going to be. Oof.
They're going to be 80 plus, aren't they?
Yeah. That's a stumbling block for me. I couldn't really justify that wage if you compared it to the rest of the squad.
That might be the problem then, Johnny, isn't it? I mean, he's in England international first and foremost, but that's going to be big money to get him.
Just in terms of wages, it'll be big money. I don't think it'll be big money in terms of a transfer fee. I think that's the most Spurs can desperately look for is £10 million. You've got a player that's under a year after his contract. The club don't want him. They don't want him. He's pretty much openly admit he wants to stay up in the north, whether that be Newcastle or another team in the north. So Danny Rose is going to have to accept some sort of pay cut anyway. You know, if he say hypothetically on £80,000 a week at Tottenham, I think you probably expect maybe 60, 65. Is that fair? I'd personally probably say just about fair. But again, I think 10 million is probably at the very most. I think Tottenham would try and start with, to be brutally honest with you. I think Newcastle will be looking around the 7 to 8 million, really.
Yeah, or even instalments, you could do it in, couldn't you, if they couldn't afford it?
Yeah, no, Newcastle will be looking at like 2 or 3 million. That's what tends to happen.
Yeah. We'll give you 2 million this month, 2 million in 6 months.
Exactly.
But the next question then, is he using Newcastle to leverage a move elsewhere? Obviously he is for England, we know that, he's already admitted that. Would he want the move, Johnny? And is the hunger there from a come to Newcastle? Or, like I say, is he using us as a platform to get somewhere else?
I don't think he is, really, because if he was, then... Well, if you look at who realistically, who could Danny Rose go to? Like, that's better than Tottenham at the minute. Is he going to get into Liverpool's team? No. City's? No. Leicester? No. He's not going to get past Chilwell. You know, the list is there. He's not going to get past many more players in terms of like the teams above him.
Everton, Dinier's probably just better going forward.
Exactly. So even Wolves, the Wolves have got a good left wing back as well. So for me, you've got to look at it and say Newcastle's probably a very, very good option for Danny Rose.
Is that because it's called Johnny?
Sure.
Is the hunger there, Sam? Would you want the move?
I don't know. Do you know where I think he'll end up?
Abroad.
I think he'll end up at Leeds if they get promoted.
Wow, what a big shout.
So do I.
I think he'll end up at Leeds because that's the kind of team where he'll go in there, he'll be the man. He'll get probably close to the wage he wants. It's obviously even closer to where he's originally from.
And he played for them.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's where he'll end up.
Interesting with Danny Rose. Let us know, of course, in the live chat and the WhatsApp. Keep your WhatsApp coming through. I'll be reading them back out in a moment. And the next player is, we'll move to Nabil Ben Aleb. A straightforward question. I think majority of us will probably agree on this one. Would you sign him, Johnny?
He is, again, he's not really showing a lot. I'd probably say no at the minute, but I'll be looking at Bet Aleb and going, well, you know, Sean Longstaff's not in great form. John Joe Shelby's very injury prone now. He gets one bad injury a season by the look of it. He should be going in there and going, do you know what? You should be paying £9-10 million to me. If that's the rumoured fee, but at the minute he's not doing anything that you go, yeah, I definitely want to sign him. I was quite excited when we signed him because I thought, yeah, this is a player, this is a good player, and he's definitely a little, I thought a level above what we already have. But from again, we've only seen like 5 or 6 games from him, and he's not really shown us anything different than what we've already got. He does keep the ball well at times, but no, not for me at the minute.
I have to agree on that. I wouldn't, if you give me the option, I wouldn't sign him. Yes, I know it's very early doors and you might go on and have a great end of the season, but For me, pass the sideways, and we've already got a couple of people in the team who already do that. Sam?
No, I wouldn't. I don't see why we signed him. It was an area of the squad. If we go back to January and we think what we needed, obviously the answer is striker quickly. And now, then the first transfer through the door was Nabil Bentaleb of centre midfield. And now he's keeping back Matty Longstaff and Isaac Hayden. It just made no sense to me. Obviously, to kind of defend him a little bit, and I've said this in previous videos, this is still his pre-season, or it was his pre-season, because he was frozen out at Schalke. So
back in pre-season now.
Yeah. Hey. So what could happen is we don't sign him. He could go somewhere else, play 40 games a season, and he'd be amazing. That could happen.
Yeah, it's a risky run, isn't it?
Yeah, and for £8.5 million, rumour has it they're after another centre mid, so they're looking at alternative options for centre midfield. So
I wonder if they'll go back for that lad from earlier. Was it Sumare or something?
Liverpool are linked with it.
Yeah, so they say it was 45 million the club were prepared to pay for him.
So why not pay for a striker?
Oh, I get that. I think it was a selling value for that one, but I think the question I would ask both is, if Matty doesn't sign and he goes to a different club, would you buy Bentaleb?
No.
The club may be forced to. They kind of get no one else. That's the
Exactly.
That's the
They'll be helped pay if Matty doesn't re-sign. We see the story broke the other day via Sky that Matty and Sean have changed agents. So a fresh approach going into these contract talks now has to help. It has to be done. It has to be signed. I know Sean's not had a great season. He's split some opinion, but I really like the lad. I think he's a cracking player.
I agree.
He's had some real quality performances this season. The win against Man United at Wolverhampton. I don't like him as number 10, but I know his form hasn't always been brilliant, but them two lads are the future and they need to sign long-term deals as soon as possible.
Yeah, there was a report last night from the Times that they've seen a document as well saying that any players' contracts that end in June will have to stay at their clubs for the foreseeable future. Well, I think you've both kind of answered half that question. Johnny, is he better than what we have in that position?
No. At the minute, Matty's better than him. Sean's about the same as him. Hayden's miles above him. Shelby's miles above him. Do I need to go on, really? Because there is two other players better than him. But again, have we seen the best of Nabil Bentaleb? Again, like Sam says, probably not, because he's still not really 100% fully fit. But that Crystal Palace game with him and Sean in the middle was one of the worst performances in midfield I've seen this season. Like, we just didn't look good at all.
And his best game was against the Championship side in West Brom, wasn't it? But
yeah,
even then he wasn't good for 90 minutes.
All right, Sam, calm down. So I take that as a no from you as well. And Sam, he's not better than what we have.
Yeah, what does he bring?
He passes the ball sideways.
Yeah, but
I can take that for 20 grand a week.
Exactly. But I will say this with a small caveat that he could go to, let's name a European team that play in European competition. He could go to Roma next season, right? He could go to Roma next season and he could be absolutely fantastic. That's the risk.
Yeah.
But does he fit in at Newcastle? No.
I think what would fit in Johnny is probably his costs, and his salary is perfect for Newcastle, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what I think the club will look at. And look, they'll say what Sam said. If he goes to another club in European competition and say, well, that's the player we actually wanted. You know, that's the Bentaleb we want. So, look, I don't think we're saying that the lad doesn't have potential. I think that's probably what we're not saying. I think he has got something in him. A bit like Sean Longstaff's got something in him. A bit like Danny Rose. A bit like Joshua Valens. We're saying all these different players.
A bit like Joe Linton.
A bit like Joe Linton. Mickey Almiron. We're saying all these players. All these players. Most of the players that we've got at Newcastle have got great potential. We just see it sit because at the minute, apart from probably Martin Dubravka and a couple of defenders this season, we've not really seen much potential of anybody.
Sam, how much would he cost in salary? It's perfect for Newcastle, though.
Yeah, it is. I think it was 8.5 million was the release clause. The clause to make the deal permanent. Wages wouldn't be a stumbling block for a move like that. It really wouldn't surprise me to see the move made permanent. And I wouldn't be angry with it. It just doesn't excite me. Matty Longstaff and his potential and his future, that angers me that he hasn't had his contract renewed. That excites me, his potential going forward. I'd sooner have Matty in a number 10 role instead of Sean as well, by the way. You can't compare Sean to Michael Carrick and then playing as a number 10, but that's a separate issue. Yeah, I think the move may happen, but I don't see that much point in it.
Well, it's Kay's replacement, one knee. That's effectively what happened. And the last question before we move on to Mr. Valentino: would Bentleb want the move? Is the hunger there, Johnny?
I think he would. Look, it's a Premier League club. Name a player that doesn't want to play in the Premier League. Not many, if any. So I think he would want the move. He's obviously settled in for the North East. That he wouldn't mind staying there by the look of it. He's not really caused any problems in the city. So I would say he probably would like the move if it was offered to him. Again, it depends on what other offers he's got at the minute. If Newcastle's the only offer he's got because of his performances, I think he will take it with both hands. But he's not wanting. Is it Schalke? He's not wanting Schalke. So again, is he going to get into a team in the Europa League? Debatable. That's probably his level at the very, very best. So I think he would probably take it.
Yeah, his disciplinary problems has cost him a place in Schalke. Sam, for you, do you think he would want that move?
Yeah, he would. The thing, do you know what screams in my head when it comes to Bentleb? 2 words: Younger and Biwa.
What, that bad?
Yeah, thing that bad for us.
Didn't think French was that good, like.
But the thing is, with Younger and Biwa, who then leaves on loan and plays in the Champions League for Roma. He's not a bad player, or he wasn't a bad player. He was just bad for us. So that again, it goes back to that risk that's in the back of my head. He could go to Roma. Roma's getting a lot of airtime.
I know.
He could go to Roma and then be amazing. But that's the thing. It could be yeah, exactly. So I don't know. He would want to move. It's coming back to the Premier League. It's the biggest stage of them all. So everything's in place for the move to be made permanent. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Lee, the big question is though: will Bentleb get better?
Everywhere he plays, yeah. that was in the cuts video. Yeah, that was a little song because Fordy was having none of it that day, was he?
No.
Just speaking of Yang and Bia, he went to play in the Champions League for Lyon as well. So, yeah,
exactly.
Like Boom Song did as well. What was that all about? Juventus Boom Song. That was a bit of a strange one, right? Last player before we wrap up this section, we'll have come back to me on the live stream. We'll have an ad break. Is Valentino Lazaro. A straightforward question is probably potential more for this one, Johnny, is if you give you the answer now, would you sign him?
Yes, because the big thing is he's better than what we've got. I think he is in that position.
A right wing back? Is he a right wing back?
Not as a right wing back. If he played further forward like he did against West Brom, like he did against Southampton, that's his position. He's not. We've said this as soon as he played that game in the FA Cup against Oxford. We were like, he's not a right wing back. Or was it Norwich? Sorry, I forget the game now.
Norwich.
They're both pathetic 0-0 draws. So yeah, in that position, defensively he's not great, and he was shown against Arsenal why he cannot be trusted in that position. But going forward, he's a threat. He's definitely a threat going forward, and I think he just needs a bit more time against teams in the Premier League to go, right, what do I need to do a little bit different to get the best out of myself. But no, for me, he's in that position going forward, he's better than what we've got, for sure.
Is he, Sam?
He is. Whether he would justify a price tag of being better than what we've already got, and by when I say better than what we've already got, he's obviously not as good as ASM, and he's not as good as Mickey Almiron. He's better than, Atsu, Jacob Murphy, Aaron's, them kind of players, and it comes back to strength and depth. Do the club want to pay 25 million, which I think is the clause to make the move permanent? 25 million for a squad player, essentially? I can't see it. But
that's the risk, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the thing. We haven't seen. I still don't think we've seen enough of him yet. The performances in the Premier League so far. Obviously, he got the red card as well and took one for the team. The first half at Arsenal wasn't bad at all. The second half,
disastrous.
Trying to raise that from my memory somewhat.
Yeah, we had great seats at Arsenal, by the way, because we had a TV in front of us.
Friend? Did we?
We had TV right in front of us as well as the game, so we could see all the replays in there. Yeah, that wasn't pleasant, that second half, as you say. Sorry, carry on, Sam.
Yeah, so the thing is, in answer to your question, yes, he's better than what we've already got in the squad. I can't see it, though.
Yeah. Oh, you've got your missus on camera. Say hello.
Say hello.
Hi.
Unbelievable.
It's like that. Remember that news clip years ago where someone said in the reception, the cleaner.
No, we didn't have the kid. We didn't have Charlie running.
The kid runs in and the cleaner's trying to grab him out. It was like one of the moments. I think you can all answer that question. Is better than what we have. Again, Johnny, Sam's talked about it. There is how much will he cost. There's rumours 20. Sam 25. The salary, I don't think the salary is going to be a problem. It's going to be the fee, isn't it?
If it was me right now, I would say to Milan, fancy another loan deal for another year.
Well, give him 5 million or something for it.
That's a good shout.
Go for a loan deal. Go another loan. He's not in Milan's plans anyway. Bit like what Kennedy did. You know, he wasn't in Chelsea's plans. Newcastle didn't want to pay a reported £30 million for Kennedy. It's obviously very similar with Lazaro. We'll get another full season with him. We'll see how good he is. It's no risk, no fee. I feel like a solicitor.
I sound like an advert.
Yeah. So, but in all seriousness, I think that would be probably the most sensible option for all parties. But whether Lazaro wants to make that move for another year, it depends. But I think if he can see a bit of ambition with Newcastle and maybe, go for this Europa League sort of level in terms of position. You never know, but it's a tough league, the Premier League, and I think Newcastle have got to ask themselves, is this player good enough for this level, or good enough to make this next step up? Because, Bruce is being quoted and saying he wants to try and get Newcastle back into Europe. Well, that's the ambition of the club, is seeing that level.
You've got to start paying big bucks if you want to start moving up, and Lazaro,
exactly.
Sam, is going to be big fee. We talked about Willems, you want him on the cheap. Rose, you're trying to get him on the cheap. Bentleb on the cheap. I don't think Valentino Lazaro will be cheap.
Probably not, but that's the risk you've got to take sometimes. I think, you see clubs like Manchester City put in probably a £50 million risk on Riyad Mahrez, or not Riyad Mahrez, but maybe Benjamin Mendy probably be a good example, £50 million risk. Those Newcastle are going to pay £50 million for a player, but they need to maybe start making a couple of risks on £20-25 million players. Especially when they put in all the eggs in one basket on a £40 million player, and it hasn't really worked out. So, is it much of a gamble to take a risk on half the money? You could go for 2 players, so that the same amount of prices you're going to do that. But who knows Newcastle's ambition or what sort of targets they go for? By a look at it, it's young, and can we get them on cheap? And at the minute, the cheap is £20 million at the minute.
Yeah, for Newcastle, that's big money, right? Sam. Rumours, and his agent keeps talking about it, that he wants to go back to Inter Milan. So, first of all, do you think the player, not the agent, the player wants that move to Newcastle, or is he using us to prosper his own career?
Well, he wouldn't be the first. Yeah.
Because his agent keeps coming out saying, it's Inter, he's going to go back to Inter, he's not going to make a permanent and all this.
Well, they're a big club, aren't they, at the moment? They're much more successful, and so that's the reality of the situation. Maybe, as Johnny said, I do like that idea of another season on loan, just to check he's not a Kennedy. Can you imagine if we'd have signed in permanently? My word.
I think everybody would. I was one of them. I said, we've got to sign Kennedy. He's been absolutely sensational.
Yeah, I think the majority were.
And then
Well, it dodged. But with Lazaro, we do need to see more of him. And he probably doesn't see his future at St James's Park. He probably is using it as a shop window. I don't know. I just can't see this one getting off the ground unless it was, as Johnny said, another extension to a loan.
Yeah, do you think that's the best idea, Johnny, the loan?
Yeah, 100%, because again, you're not paying a big fee. You get to see a bit more of the player. He's not bad. I think he's a bad player by any stretch, but if you play him in the right position, give him a full season, the only risk you're going to have is that Inter Milan might go, well, we want a little bit more if he does play well and does really, really well. And he might have competition for his signature in terms of maybe other Premier League clubs or bigger clubs around Europe. But it depends. Like I say, Newcastle could take that gamble of saying, right, we'll pay £20 million for you and put a release clause in a double or whatever. And then you make your money that way. But I think for Newcastle, I think that probably the best scenario is another loan deal and take the risk that he doesn't perform miracles and does like a Mo Salah, for example, and scores 30-odd goals and makes a amount of assists. But if he does what Newcastle fans or the Newcastle board expect what he can do, then it's a good deal all round. But loan deal for me.
Interesting. Keep your WhatsApp coming. Going to head back over to the live stream once more.
The Black and White Football Show, Sunday 6 to 8 p.m. in association with Newcastle Fans TV on Nova Radio Northeast.
And we're back, just like that. How did you find that? Out of those 4 signings, Williams included in the other 3 loan signings, realistically for me, I think I would only ever sign Jericho Williams at the moment, this present moment. The others might go on to have a better end of the season, whenever that season will be. Who knows as well. Going to take an ad break in a moment, but we've got a couple of WhatsApp. Remember to send your WhatsApp in. It'll be the guaranteed way to have your live chat read out. And this is from Kev. It says, what are your thoughts on the FA Cup if it gets scrapped this season? I think it's a real possibility, unfortunately. And now we're in the quarterfinals and my ticket's just sitting there, just collecting dust at the minute. So it's one of them. I didn't want the FA Cup to be just put one aside. I could understand if they do, because they kind of get no fixtures in there. But I'd be gutted. I'd be absolutely gutted if. And that's Man City, and we're not expecting to get through, but we've got a good home record against Man City the last couple of years. So I would like to see it. I will be gutted because I've always gone on and said that I love an FA Cup run. I was brought on them. Obviously, I had the Keegan years, 95, 96, then the 2 FA Cup finals, and then the semi-final defeat. So I was brought upon that, and that's the way I am. I love a good FA Cup run. And this is another message from Lane, and he says, sorry to sound negative, but as Mike Ashley only cares about money, do you think if relegation was to happen and that we're in the Championship after parachute, come on Lee, payments which only last for 3 years, would Mike Ashley be would he sell, basically? I think he would if we didn't get promoted, because the Premier League money that filters down the parachute payments, it gets less and less. For example, Sunderland haven't got any no more because they've spent more than 3 years now at the Premier League, and I think if it devalues the club and it costs Ashley more money to run it, I think you would sell it, but I think you've got more chance of selling it if it is in the Premier League as well. This is Mal from Bladen, very, very, very close to me, Mal. I would pass on Danny Rose. Bentaleb, definitely a no, so he's not keen on those 2 either. So let's have a look what is saying in the live chat as well. Mark's in the live chat as well. Play the remainder of the season whenever safe to do so. Forget next season. Let's finish this one. I've got to agree with you there, Mark. I think you've got to try and get this season over and done with. If it goes into July, if it goes into August, so be it. I think you've got to finish that season up. Paul says the FA Cup shouldn't be scrapped. I'm with that as well, but I could see why if it does, though. I just hope it doesn't as well. I just think Richie hasn't came back as the same player from his injuries, says Blunt Rap 07, who's a big fan of Paul's music, I hear, in the live chat as well. Get your WhatsApp coming through after the next ad break. We are going to be talking about our favourite away days. We've got some clips as well. But there's also a quiz question if you're watching live. And we'll be back very, very shortly.
under the night sky, trying to make me see your stars. But the dark gets so lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence. And the dark's all that I see. When your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound, I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You're the night sky, hiding behind dark gray clouds. I can't figure you out now. I see you're blue. There is so much cold in you, and the silence is so loud when you go. I just stay dancing with my shadow all day. Watch the time. I can't find the point where past the line, but you're the night sky. I'm trying to see your stars, but I've always feared the dark. Now I see violet, I can feel your silence. You always feel so far when your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound. I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky.
And we are back, everybody. So let's see who's got the question answer right. I can't even speak tonight. So Sam messaged us straight away with Valencia, yeah. And then obviously other people in the live chats from our group chat that we have seen that are now jumping on the bandwagon giving Valencia. Rob, I can see you said PSV, and he wasn't sure between PSV and Valencia, but yeah, Valencia was the correct question. We got another WhatsApp from Mal again, who's updated us where is he from. He's from Stella, and exactly where Stella is, where Bladen Races first started. You've got that plaque on the wall. I know exactly where you are. You must be in that either the new estate behind the wall, behind the railway track, or you're in front of it as well. So I know Stella very well. I used to go down the back way from Brighton down to Bladen, which you'll know very well. But yeah, we are back into the third section. I know it's a little bit difficult that we can't do it live, so we thought not having a radio show, we thought we'll do it remotely. Hence the reason why I'm in mine, and obviously we can't all meet up because of lockdown situation. Which is understandable, but the next section we're going to talk about was your favourite away days. We want them in your WhatsApp, in the WhatsApp down here, 0747 649 716. Let us know your best, your favourites, your worst experience. It could be for travelling, it could be a weekend, maybe you're like stuck in sardines like Burnley, it could be a win, it could be a disastrous day where you had no money. It could be any story that we want from you. Get it in the WhatsApp. Of course, we will read some of your live chat, but we might miss a couple of them out. But let's move on to the third section where we're talking all about the way it is.
The Black and White Football Show, Sunday 6 to 8 p.m. in association with Newcastle Fans TV on Nova Radio Northeast.
Thank you very much. We are back. In this bit, we're going to have a bit of fun, bit of positivity. We've talked about Mike Ashley earlier on. We've talked about the loans. And now we're going to talk about our best away days, and we'll have a few clips from this season, possibly last season, from action where we've been to as well. Johnny, what's shouting out at you right now?
Probably Man United 0, Newcastle 1 a few years ago. Goodbye. It was the first time properly at Old Trafford. I went on a stadium tour about 10, 15 years ago now. But apart from that, I went with a few Man United mates of mine on the bus, and I didn't expect us to get anything. I thought we were playing okay at the time, but I didn't expect us to win, especially at Old Trafford. But we played unbelievable that day. We played really, really well and deserved the win. The standout moment for me was the last couple of minutes. I think it was like 3 or 4 minutes of injury time. And I think for 95% of it was in the corner. Because we got like corner after corner after corner. Amiobi and Ben Arthur, the dream team, just keeping Man United's defence out and getting so frustrated. But it was right in front of the Newcastle fans. And I think the realisation of the fact we were going to win at Old Trafford was unbelievable. But the atmosphere was electric as well that day. So that's the one that stands out. Unless we win the FA Cup, I don't think it'll be it for a little while. Well, unfortunately, we don't have a match vlog from that day. However, we're not going to show the hammering that we got against Man United earlier this season at Old Trafford. We're going to show a bit of the match vlog where we went 2-0 up the previous season. Have a look at this. So yeah, sometimes we don't always win at Man United, but the atmosphere, especially the way end, is always great. But the atmosphere at Old Trafford's been criticised for the last few years. So, Sam, what jumps out for you? What's your favourite or best moment being in a way?
Kind of difficult for me, because the only time I've seen us win away from home, I was in the home end. Which was not so long ago at West Brom in the FA Cup. I was the rogue undercover reporter in the home end, but I had a cracking view of Almon's 2 goals. But yeah, I've kind of had more eventful away days rather than good away days on the pitch. Getting to Arsenal for the 4-0 thrashing was an eventful day with all the flooding and the storms and whatnot. I had to help tow a car out. I also going to Wolves as well. Flamethrowers, disco lights, bit of Led Zeppelin before the game as the team come out belting. But
you like the disco?
No, the disco lights. 2 seasons ago with
I'm not a fan of that, mind. I'm not a fan of disco lights all over the place. I know Stamford Bridge have do it now, and it's not.
You wouldn't want it every week. But for like a kind of one-off going to these places, you don't mind it because it's a different experience.
But you've got epilepsy, you're not going to make it.
Tin pot, that's what it is.
But I mean, that away day in particular was a couple of seasons ago when obviously we conceded that goal in the last minute. Had VAR been around that season, I'm not sure that would have stood, because I was just stood there like this going, well, he's clearly going to blow. It was a clear foul. He's going to blow. Why hasn't he blown yet? He's going to blow. He's not blown.
Give us your favourite and we'll see if we can get a clip of it.
West Brom.
Okay, let's have a look earlier on this season where Sam had an eventful time outside this stadium as well. Have a look at this. And who's that handsome chap? He brings you fantastic views. I've been waiting nearly half an hour for Sam to sort his act out. I think the person who's given him a ticket has let him down. He's not going to the game. He's out. Still ticketless.
Yeah, I will get in somehow.
He's going to try. He's going to try and escape the car park and get in that way.
original tune, Miggy.
Yeah, so that was sample time trying it out. Yeah, we got there nice and new, and yeah, and obviously it was eventful, put it that way. But hope you enjoyed the goals going in there, Sam, from the way end, from when I was recording. I think it's obvious is the Spurs one early on this season, which yeah, got me in tears, which for the right reasons. It was an absolutely brilliant hot day, red hot, 30 degrees, 32, 33, something like that. Got into London just the whole day. It was me, Johnny, Paul and Kyle were all giggling, having a good laugh on the way down, hoping for a result. The stadium, seeing that, that stadium was phenomenal. Did anybody try the pint? Did anyone have a go?
I did.
I knew someone was one of it, aye. And one of your mates declaring his love for us and all that, Johnny, that was quite funny.
Big shout out to Dan there.
I love your channel and all that. And then I just remember because me and Johnny were together and Paul and Kyle were round the other end of the stadium, second off. And Johnny's on his phone and he's all about, England cricket and all of that. I'm like, Johnny, what you doing?
Yeah.
What you doing? It's actually...
Ben Stokes. Sam, please back me up on this. What Ben Stokes did that afternoon for England.
Absolutely will back you up. I was
Thank you very much.
I was at work and I was watching the cricket. This was obviously the day of Ben Stokes at Headingley.
Yes,
it was Headingley. Yeah, that mammoth innings. And then as soon as that finished, Spurs Newcastle. And I joked the morning, I joked to a colleague of mine, shout out Matt Jaws, that we should place a bet on the double. England win and a Newcastle win. I think it was like a 50-1 double. Cause I think we were like 14-1 just to get the win at Spurs. And it's just a flippant comment. Obviously,
well,
I didn't have a penny on, but what a day.
It was a great day. I just looked at Johnny and thought, what you doing, Johnny? What you doing? You're in the football team. But it wasn't just him. There was a couple of sections around the stadium. And it was just, that alone was great going into there. Scoring early through Joe Linton. Yes, Joe Linton scored as well, believe it or not. When we're just, as Chris Kamara would say, we're defended like beavers. Red hot day, everyone t-shirt, and it was just brilliant, man. I had no feeling because it was emotional. It was brilliant, and we're seeing obviously we're seeing the Tottenham lads after. I've done some film with them. We've seen 40. It was just, even the videos were just fun. It was just Mickey taking all the way through the videos whilst we're just behind. We're in some sort of little car parks, and it was great. And then going back home, editing the videos, it was just all round, not just the football, the day itself, and seeing the stadium was for me. And as I'm talking about it, let's have a look at that day. Johnny's happy because England apparently have won the cricket. Whatever that means. More important things are happening here. Yeah.
What a ground, by the way. What an absolute ground. That's one of the best out there been.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Ben Stokes, Newcastle fan, just won it for England in the cricket. I know it's cricket and it's not football, but Sir Ben Stokes, Newcastle fan, gets in.
Say the not.
sing? Shall we sing a song for you? Shall we sing a song for you? Long shots to send a shot, and Luis done a fantastic save to push it over. What a save that was! No, no shot! No, 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 no! No! Oh, for God's sake! That was a waste. That was an absolute waste. One. Right, so that was great. Johnny, is there any other ideas? What else of your tree?
Middlesbrough's ever championship. I think off the top of me.
West Ham away.
Yeah, I've never been as West Ham, but the bowling. But I think off the top of my head now, probably Villa, maybe.
You love Villa,
I don't know, but we beat them. That was a good day. I've got a good record at the Midlands, believe it or not. West Brom, Wolves, Villa. I think I've only seen it. There was a couple of times at Villa. But Everton, probably the first game of the first Premier League away game. Ben Alpha's goal. Tiote's debut, God rest his soul. Absolute, I guess, a shed at Everton. But a fantastic day. You know, what a performance by Ben Alpha. Arguably the best player on the pitch. He had like some Nolan, Carroll. Wayne Routledge was playing right wing. Had likes of Colaccini, Krul came off a Harper. But we just about held on in the end to pretty much, I think, putting our bodies on the line. But Newcastle deserved all 3 points, and we just about got there in the end.
I'll come to Sam in a moment. I think obviously the West Ham earlier on the season was brilliant, just going 3-0 up and possibly the best football that Newcastle may have played, especially the first hour. Obviously it was Isha's first time with us as well, which was great, and I think we should play that clip, so I want to play that one as well, so let's have a look at that.
I know that's the only reason you're tuning in. I'm not Isha. Repeat, I'm not Isha.
What you see right there is a criminal. Criminal right there. What is he, people? He's a criminal. I hope he beeps. Oh, I don't know how he got through there. Here we go, Shelby's free kick. Loop back across. Go on! It's limbs! Someone follow her. Newcastle are 1-0 up. Oh yeah, he's just helping them. I would help them. Get here, what about 1-0? It's 2. Newcastle are 2-0 up. The centre backs are just bombing these goals in. Oh, scenes, look at him, man. Oh, look at them. What a nutters. Oh yeah. 2-0 up, 22 minutes in. What a start for Newcastle. 3-0! Jojo Shelby, look at him! Look at him! Jojo Shelby against his boy club. And Wild, yeah, it's 3-0. What a performance! Unreal. The tops are off. It's
celebration time here in East London.
John, while that clip was being played, he said Leeds. Tell us about Leeds.
Leeds away, yeah. Unbelievable. Leeds, like...
Was that the championship one?
No, it was the championship, just with Rafa a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Gale doing all that.
Yeah, it was... for me, I didn't think I was going to get a ticket for it, but I managed to get a ticket for it. It was an early lunchtime game on the Sunday, I think it was. It was the trains were packed, absolutely packed that day, but... It's almost like an impossible ground to get to because it's like on the side of the motorway to get to Leeds, but the atmosphere was absolutely electric. I think everyone kind of built it up as, Leeds fans are amazing, Newcastle fans are amazing, it's going to be a great atmosphere. I think it was the first time Leeds had sold out the ground at home for like 6 or 7 years, so it was obviously a big game for them. But we were by far the better team. Leeds didn't show up, and Gale was fantastic that day, and Nito did a great job at right back as well, and it was a really comfortable performance. But yeah, I think it was the fact that everyone expected Leeds to kind of shut us up a little bit, and they got nowhere near us on the pitch for sure.
Yeah, Rob Greenhowler won and Gale taps it in. Done a Pickford.
It's some Jack Colback.
Colback. I was just going to say Colback. Yeah.
Would you like to see Leeds come up, Sam? Because it's a short away day, isn't it?
Just for you. It's not for me. Yeah, I would.
Huge club. They're a big club stuck in a division for 17 years or something where they shouldn't be in.
No, that's true. I mean, you'd sooner rather go to Leeds than you would say
a London club.
Bournemouth. Sorry, Bournemouth. Yeah, something like that, or Burnley to keep it up that way. But it'll be good to have Leeds back in the Premier League. I don't know how they'd get on, but with Danny Rose at left back.
Yeah, you've already pushed that.
Yeah, we've got to have him back.
Johnny, is there any bad away day experience in terms of travel or the match or the stadium?
Burnley is not in terms of travel. It's a dump. Palace is a tough one to get to, especially if you get on a train. You've got to get one train and another train, and then that's difficult. Chelsea's not too bad. The London one's always tough. Brighton, no beating Brighton, but I know a couple of people that have, and just to get to Brighton itself is really difficult. So if Brighton were to get relegated, I think not many Premier League fans would miss that trip. But I'm just trying to think. It is your London ones. Like I remember when we went to Chelsea earlier on in the season. I know you found it difficult just to get into London. Really, when you get into London, it was difficult to get to Chelsea because obviously it's in the southwest. But one of the tube stations that broke down and had to walk like a mile and a half from the tube station to get the ground. So again, it is a tough one. But
I remember that day, Johnny, with your mates.
Don't know what you're talking about, Lee. We'll move on. Did you talk about Leeds, did you? But no, I like Chelsea's ground. It could do with a bit of a makeover, but I like Stamford Bridge itself. I think it's one of the best grounds I've been to, just in terms of how it looks on when you're there. But they're probably the ones. But Burnley, how bad's Burnley? Like we went in December, didn't we, Lee? It was just it was
great.
Through the tent, and then you get into the ground, and everything was cramped together. There was 3,000 Newcastle fans in one male toilet. It's not going to go well. So Burnley needs a lot of work too.
I think we should have a look at how bad Burnley was before we got on the game. Let's have a look pre-match. Have a look at this. And we have arrived in Burnley. There's a stadium in the background. Did you know, people? Johnny used to live in Burnley for 3 years. He's reminiscing right now. What you give him that?
Right. 6 out of 10.
6.
It's alright.
I'll show you what I've got. My chips kind of flying. Good old bag of English chips from Burnley. We're in the tent. This is Premier League in a tent. yeah, you like sardines in it, and it got flagged. Obviously, the safety of away fans. I remember the Nuss were trying to campaign for that as well. Sam, bad experiences for you in terms of either travel? Well, I think there's the Arsenal one will probably shoot up, but any others?
Yeah, the Arsenal one's the obvious one for our travel in particular. For those who haven't seen it, we were supposed to meet where the M6 and M1 adjoins, and then I was going to drive us to Epping, where we'd get the tube in to the Emirates. Easy. No, it took me an hour and a half to do 10 miles from my house, which is in the West Midlands, due to all the flooding. As I touched upon before, I had to help tow a car out of said flooding. I was an hour late meeting you. On our way down to London, we then got stuck in traffic on the M1, where Google Maps says we weren't getting into Epping until 4:15, which is obviously no good for a 4:30 kickoff. So we dived off the motorway at Luton, got the train to St Pancras from Luton Airport, and we get there nicely, all for a 4-0 defeat. Right.
I think we should show that.
The joys of living in the countryside. Straight through. Come on. Oh, we're getting deeper. Oh, we are getting deeper. Yes.
So as you've just seen, Sam is having some troubles getting through those country roads. I'm at my destination now, waiting on him. God knows how long this will be. Hurry up, Sam. Change of plan. We're now getting the train in from Luton. Sam's having an eventful day. Let's just hope we get the 3 points. Owned by the Herbert Chapman statue. Earlier, karate. Oh, he spotted me. He spotted me. Hello, son. Good to see you.
That
is our way day, the bad, the ugly to abroad as well. And that is it, lads, from used to. Have you enjoyed it?
I've really enjoyed it.
It's been a little bit difficult, obviously, with the situation at the moment. We may have to start keep doing these as well. I'm going to hand back to myself, which is weird, to go to the ad break. Remember, keep your WhatsApp, keep your live chat in as well. And coming up shortly, we've got 2 phone calls with Rob and Kyle involved. Back to myself.
The Black and White Football Show, Sunday 6 to 8 p.m. in association with Newcastle Fans TV on Nova Radio Northeast.
And just like that, we're back again. How did you find that? Couple of glitches in those clips there because it was my fault. I had the settings on 1080 instead of 720, so that's for me to blame. So apologies if that had spoiled your enjoyment. A bit of bickering going on in the live chat with some foreign chat, I think it is. I don't know if I'm mistaken on that. But we have had a couple of WhatsApp messages come through. We're going to take an ad break just after this bit because the radio show needs that ad break. Of course, use your non-copyright songs. We have to obviously obliged by Ofcom's regulations. We've got a great one. This is from Mal again, from Stella. And it says the best away was Burnley at Hillsborough, 1974. Cup semi-final. Wow, that is going back, way back. I'd love to know more about that, Mal. Tell us the scoreline, the scorers. Was Hibbert playing? Was that the Hibbert pass over at McDonald? Was that? I might be mistaken on that one. Worse is any time going to Middlesbrough. Yeah, Kyle's not a fan of Middlesbrough either. Well, not Middlesbrough itself, Redcar. to be honest with you. We've had another one from Liam as well, saying his best away day was Spurs this season. I have to agree, it's right up there for me. It's an absolutely brilliant season so far. Brilliant away days of this season so far. Best, I'm just reading these notes. The most teams I've seen us get beat, obviously that's a Newcastle fan. When we go away, we'll always get beat, man, except from the odd time. 5-1 away to Crystal Palace. He went to that one, he was so angry that day. He says that was a horrible day. That was just absolutely shocking performance. But let's have a look at your live chat as well. Hope you've enjoyed that. We're gonna obviously this week we were just testing a lot of stuff as well. We'll fine tune that if we have to again do it remotely next week, which is more than likely. What you're saying in the live chat is obviously that Enrique enjoyed it. Says Paul, thank you very much. It was awesome, Lee. Made some great memories. We're the best fans in the world, easily. Says Blunt Rap. Thank you very much. And what we got? Just he's still having a go at that chap in the live chat. Yeah, some of the weird days there, man. It was brilliant. Spurs away for me. Obviously, I got a little. I was like a baby. I started crying and all that. It was just emotional for me. I just didn't expect Newcastle to get anything. Stoke, remember Stoke New Year? Horrible, wet, windy, 1-0 away win when Perez scored. I enjoyed that one. I always like going to Anfield just because of what it brings in the area. Old Trafford. A lot of people like to go there. I'm not too bothered about that one. And Mal's just replied there back in WhatsApp. He's just replied back there. Newcastle won 2-0, Super Mac with both goals. Terry Hibbert did play on that super pass for the second. Yeah, I remember. Well, I don't remember. I'm not that old. But I remember seeing it back because Hibbert, well, what a player he was on that left flank. Used to obviously cross for Tudor and Super Mac over and over. Absolutely brilliant for those two. But going back to the away days, I would obviously like a local team to come up. That's not going to happen anytime soon with Sunderland in Middlesbrough. Let's face facts, it's not. So I'd like to see one of those two eventually come up, but beat them, of course. But realistically, next season, probably Leeds. Not too much a fan. I don't like Leeds. I just think it's a shorter trip. You think about Burnley. It's Burnley's short to get to. It's just awkward to get to. Leeds will be straightforward. It's just literally just an hour and 20, an hour and 10. And then you've got Sheffield United, which is a 2-hour drive as well. So some good memories in there with those live clips, looking back at them as well. And that's the end of Sam and Johnny for the rest of this show. We're going to take an ad break, and then after this ad break we're going to be chatting to Kyle, and we're also going to be chatting to Rob, and we're going to be talking about where's the best place to sit in St James's Park. Is it the Gallagher? Is it the Leazes? Is it the East Stand? Is it the Milburn? Let us know. And there's also another quiz question coming up. See you in a couple of minutes.
When I walk into the kitchen, you saw the look on my face. You saw the look on my heart to get out of this place. I seen something I've never seen before. When you put on the pineapple, we couldn't be friends anymore. Pineapple bouncers, go on pizza. It's a fruit and you know that. Pineapple doesn't go on pizza. They just don't belong.
everyone, right, we are back. So, the answer to the question was Shay Given. He collected 51 Irish caps whilst he was a Newcastle player, so he's the most cap player whilst at the club. Did any of us get any of that? I know Rob's got that in the live chat, and you, Rob, will be straight on that as well. It looks like not many of us have got that. He's struggled on that one. Maybe I should make that a little bit easier next time. So we're into the final section. We're into the last 10 to 15 minutes of the show. We're going to be joined by Kyle in just a second, and we've also got Rob on the phone as well. And in this section, we're just going to be talking about what is the best, or where is the best place to watch Newcastle United at St James's Park. And I've got Kyle on the phone. Hey, Kyle, how are you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Lee? You alright?
I'm alright. It's a little bit different this week, because we're all separated, doing it remotely. It's a bit odd, isn't it?
It's very strange. I much prefer being in the studio, interacting with everyone, but obviously we've just got to get through it as best we can through this crisis, and hopefully this is a good alternative for everyone.
Yeah, hopefully everyone has enjoyed the show. There's a couple of glitches in there, but we're still learning. We'll iron them out next week. Right, Kyle, tell me, where's the best place to sit at St James's Park?
Personally, I would go with Strawberry Corner, and that's my favourite part of the ground to sit in. I've sat all over the ground throughout the years, and I'd probably say because for me, I like a bit of atmosphere on where I sit. Level 7, there's a couple of singers, but not many. Melbourne stand, very quiet. Lasers End, dead. Gallagher End at the top is alright, but for me, I'd probably say the Strawberry Corner because it's got a decent view, high up enough so you can see formations and tactics play out on the field, or lack of tactics that would be. But for an atmosphere / view ratio, that's important to me. I don't know if it is to anybody else, but to me personally, I'd say the Strawberry Corner.
Where's the worst?
The worst, the gods. So anyone that sits up there, those bloody stairs are awful. And you warned us before the break, Lee, of certain words that I couldn't say, but them stairs, only those sort of words can describe those stairs.
Treacherous.
The treacherous, the awful stairs. I had to go up there for Oxford at home, so travelling all up them stairs for a 0-0 draw to a League One side wasn't the best afternoon, I must say.
Why do you not like it? Is it just because you're so high up?
Don't get us wrong, the view and things like that is fantastic. It's just like the atmosphere and things like that. I just didn't rate up there. Plus, when it's winter, you feel it up there. You really do. I mean, if the atmosphere's good all the way around the ground, I don't care where I sit. But yeah, those are the two main factors: the weather when it's cold and the lack of atmosphere.
What about people who sit in the Milburn stand? Do you think that's still like quiet?
I know you want to sit like roughly around there, don't you? Or the East Stand.
Milburn. See, for me, for Milburn, I'd never liked it since I was put up in the gods years ago, and I've never touched the Milburn. So I quite like the East Stand because I can see the game tactically.
You want to be more in the middle. I've only sat in the middle twice actually, and both times were with you for the Saint-Maximin friendly and the Leicester Carabao Cup game. So in time I sat in the middle. It's a cracking view, but obviously there's a lack, a serious lack of atmosphere there. Like you just sit, you enjoy the game, and that's about it. Me, I like to sing a lot and get behind the team, and obviously when you're next to people like Paul, who tends to shout at players and as maybe you've seen on the telly when we played Burnley a couple of weeks ago, 94 minutes gone, he's shouting at the opposition players. But
he was seen all the way. He was seen all the way around the world, wasn't he? He was captured all the way around the world.
Well, Paul usually is when he's speaking on TV or seen on the telly, seen around the world. But no, I like a bit of atmosphere around this league. I don't get us wrong. I think for a view, if you want to see the spectacle that is a football match, I think the best part of St James's Park would be either the East Stand or the Milburn Stand, because the view is just simply brilliant. But that being said, I'd rather have more of an atmosphere, to be honest. So I'd probably lean towards the Gallagher Corner still.
And what do you generally feel for let you go of the atmosphere at St James's Park? How can we improve it?
Well, this season is probably the worst I've seen it in a long time, but there's a lot of factors that play into that. Obviously, this season with the boycott and people leaving, more so the hardcore fans that sat in the top of the gallery corner where the singers were, waterbags and all them to give up their tickets, which is fine. I respect their opinion and everything, but the atmosphere is just dead as a doornail. There's only been 2 or 3 games this season where you could probably say it's a good atmosphere. But when that man leaves, I don't know when it'll be, I don't know how long from now it will be, but when it happens, that first home game is what we're all looking forward to, because that Raw is just going to be something we haven't seen before.
I think you'll struggle to get a ticket once Mike Ashley goes. But yeah, Kyle, thank you very much for joining us. I'll speak to you later on the live chat.
Not a problem. Thank you, everyone. I hope everyone has enjoyed the show as well and keeping safe in this virus and whatnot. But yeah, catch everyone there and see you later, Lee.
See you a bit. Right, Rob, this is your warning because you're coming up next, so I'm going to be ringing Rob in just a moment as well, and then we're going to be wrapping up the show because we're coming up towards the 2 hours as well. So yeah, so where are you, Rob? Where are you hiding? There you are in the phone book. So I'm going to be ringing Rob, and then we're going to be chatting again about the stadium. So let's give Rob a ring. Let's hope he picks up. What does it say in the live chat? Is that Newcastle United vodka? It is, Jason.
You right, Lee?
Hiya, Rob. Someone's just pointing I've got Newcastle United vodka on me. Not that I'm drinking, no. But yeah, we're joined by Rob on the phone. How you been keeping this week?
Yeah, I've been trying to keep myself busy. I've been looking to apply for jobs around shops because stuff with the journalism stuff is pretty much going into shutdown with, of course, Nova Radio is going to shut down, so is Dala Radio. York City, of course, is suspended for the time being. So just trying to make myself useful whilst still feeling well and places can benefit from the help that I can offer, really.
Yes, it's been a bit of a manic week with Boris putting us all on lockdown. So hence the reason why we're doing this show remotely, as I've touched upon. But you've just heard, you would have seen Kyle just on before. He thinks the best place is the Strawberry Corner. Where's it for you?
Yep, same for me. It's got to be the Strawberry Corner because, for me personally, I love singing. I absolutely love the singing. I love the chanting. I love the limbs. That's one of the things I most love about away days is that it doesn't matter where you are in the away section, there's going to be limbs if there's going to be a good moment. And you can, the only taste of an away day that you get at St James's Park is in the Strawberry Corner. So I've got to be with Kyle on that one. I think my favourite moment whilst I've been there has got to be when Fernandez scored the winner against Southampton back in December.
Yeah.
Me and Kyle started hugging each other, like hugging and jumping, and I was literally just about to fall. I lost my balance. I was about to fall onto the row in front of us, and Kyle managed to, like, in the nick of time, yank me up, like, back up by my shirt and yank me back up to my feet. So, like, having that thrill, that a little bit of adrenaline rush. Absolutely love it, and it's no place like anywhere else that I've experienced at St James's Park.
It's where we are. It's you don't sit, you stand, and yeah, you've just touched upon it. When there's a goal going, yeah, you've just got to be careful what's around you. Where do you try and avoid a sit?
Difficult. I've had a good taste of everywhere around St James's Park to try and sit out. And there's good points and bad points about everywhere. I think tactically, and in terms of the view of the whole pitch, it's got to be right down the middle of the east stand. Ideally, like in the higher tier of the east stand. That way, you get a really good view of both goals, and you're able to read the game like on a tactical level as well. Yeah, just for the views on that point, it's certainly worth it. Yeah,
I'd agree. I really do enjoy sitting in that east stand. It's just the only thing that lets it down that there's no atmosphere, because it's like it's people who want to just analyse the game, watch the game, which is the best. The Leazes end, what do you make of that? Because there seems to be a lot of the young'uns get put up there, don't they?
Yeah, it's pretty dead. times I've tried to start chanting, but no one follows, so I end up just going, just sort of hum a bit quiet, hum a bit louder than usual. I like the banter that you get right next to the away fans up in the gods. I do like that. I had that against Aston Villa in February 2015 when Papis scored the winner. That was sort of good banter, but anywhere else in level 7, and it's a bit colder. You do feel it there, and it's just a bit dead. You just you can't really. You feel like you're embarrassing yourself by just trying to be yourself.
Sorry, Rob. Do you think that if you were to bring the away fans down, if assuming safety can be the priority, if they can come to pitch level, do you think that'll improve the atmosphere in general?
It might do, but I do like having the away fans like being there up in the gods, to be honest, because I think that does hinder the opposition in terms of what they can do, especially with the fans being so far away from them. I think it does hinder the away team when that does happen. So I wouldn't want to see them being moved down a notch. Okay,
right, cool. Well, Rob, thank you very much because we're entering the last minute. I'll just speak to you later on. Have a good night, Rob.
And you. Bye now.
Take care. Bye-bye. And that was Rob. Thank you very much for everybody who has interacted with us as we are entering the last minute. So thank you for Nova Radio, Northeast 102.5 FM. Everybody in this live chat, if you're listening, obviously you can't see it, but everyone who's watching in this live chat as well. And of course, Kyle and Rob with their phone conversations, and of course, Sam and Johnny. It's not great that we have to do it remotely, but under these circumstances, there isn't too much that we can do. We're looking at ways to... There's been a couple of glitches tonight, but we've carried on, and hopefully you've all enjoyed it. It's been tough putting it all together. It's took me 8 hours. But we're learning doing this remotely. It's not something that we always do, but yeah, thank you very much for watching. Still plenty of content coming up for Newcastle Fans TV over on the YouTube channel in the next few days. So see you later, everyone. Bye bye.
When I walk into the kitchen, you saw the look on my face, you saw the look on my heart to get out of this place. I seen something I've never seen before.